Well, good morning, family. Hope you guys are having a wonderful, blessed Wednesday, because Grammie's having a wonderful, blessed Wednesday. I just got back from dropping my two little ones off at kindergarten and preschool, and it was a blessing this morning to be able to take them to school and spend a little time with them. And my little Megan's not feeling good today. She's a little under the weather, so she's going to stay home today. And won't be too long that I'll be having to leave and go to work. And it is cold here in Corning, Arkansas this morning. I have traded out my capri pants for long breeches. And I'm telling you, yesterday I went for my mile walk at lunch and my ankles about froze off. And if my body matched my ankles, I'd be a skinny woman. I have tiny ankles. All right, so anyway, let's get into the message this morning. A message of encouragement, of goodness, of godly love, the wonderful things that are of God. And I'm just going to tell you this morning, I had this message on my heart, and me and Brother Lester, the 82-year-old pastor that works with us at the library, had a conversation about this the day before yesterday. And then Pastor Lon over at the Homesteading Pastor brought a message about it yesterday. And I'm just going to tell you, God is wanting to get this message across because I had it in my heart to speak about it today. In Matthew 22, 37, 39, in the King James Version, I always like to tell you what version I'm reading. Jesus said unto him, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. This is the first and great commandment. And the second is like unto it, Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Simple. Isn't that just simple? It's simple. He's not asking you to do anything that's complicated. Why do we complicate our service, our life to God? Why do we complicate it? It's simple. He's not asking you to dig ditches. I mean, you may have to dig a ditch if your neighbor needs it and you're trying to love him. He's not asking for you to do anything hard. Love thy God with everything that's in you. And love thy neighbor as you love thyself. Simple. Brother Lester and me were talking, and he said, we make things complicated. I said, we do. We make it way too complicated. And then it makes the young ones think that there's no way that they possibly could live up to what we are laying before them. But that's not what God has. Now, let me tell you, there are things that we have to live by, and there's rules that we have to live by in the Bible, and there's 10 commandments that we're supposed to love and honor and cherish. But I'm just going to tell you, when you're a baby, you don't know not to do things. When you're a baby, you can't crawl. You have to be bottle fed and taken care of. So unto the young, the ones who are just coming into the fold, they don't know. We don't need to bash them over the head with a wooden spoon every time they do something wrong. We need to pray and ask God to give them wisdom. They're trying. They're trying. How many have we pushed out because we've made it too hard or seem like it's a prize that nobody can be perfect enough to have? Let's be honest. We're all sinners. How many times have we gone and tongue-lashed somebody and then turned around and sinned ourselves? Or we sinned before we talked to them, or we were sinning while we were talking to them. Let's love them. Let me tell you, you're going to see me. If you look at me, you're going to see me fail. If you look at your pastor, you're going to see him fail. If you look at somebody that you really look up to that's a godly person, they're going to fail. It's just how it's going to happen because we're not perfect. We're not perfect. Only one person was perfect that ever walked this earth, and that was Jesus. And so he's telling us simple, simple, simple. Love thy God. Love thy neighbor as thyself. If you do those two things, you're going to do good today. Love thy God with all thy heart, thy mind, and thy soul. With everything. That's what he's asking. Love him with everything that's in you. And love thy neighbor. Be an encourager today. Maybe you don't feel you were called to be an encourager, but sometimes you have to work out of the circle of what you feel. Some things are natural to some people to do, and some things is unnatural. Maybe you don't feel like telling the lady at the cash register that she has nice hair. Or that she smells good, or or have a blessed day. But try it. Try it. Try to be nice to everybody that's in front of you today. Try it. It might be hard, but that person that's having a bad day might just need your encouragement. So I believe that we can fix this world with these scriptures. Now, I'm also believing that we are living in the end of times. And so some of the things that are going to come to pass are just things that are going to have to come to pass because God has written them. And His word cannot return void. But I will tell you that we can change one person at a time. First, we change ourselves. Then we help that person that's in front of us. That person in front of us. Love is contagious. Just like hate is. Love is contagious. So, love thy neighbor as thyself. So I was asking my daughter the other day, I said, if you love thy neighbor as you love yourself, what are the things that you would do for your neighbor? We were actually having a conversation about Tilly, our new dog. Because she says, I love that dog so much I would die for it. I said, really? Because you just got through feeding yourself, but Tilly hadn't had supper. I said, you went to the bathroom, but Tilly pooped on the carpet. She didn't get to go to the bathroom. She did, but she didn't go where she's supposed to go. So we're having this whole thing about responsibility in the house. So I said, when you love something and you love it like you love yourself, you do for it before you do for yourself. When I was a mother and they handed me a newborn baby, that baby became everything. It ate before I ate. It was cleaned before I got cleaned. It got rocked when I was so tired I couldn't hardly sit up straight. And anybody who's ever been a mother or took care of somebody that they loved, they know what I'm talking about. The complete exhaustion that comes with taking care of a newborn or anybody, anything that you have, anything that you love that you take care of, whether it be a new puppy or a parent or a spouse. So, but there are things that come with that. And so that is the devotion that you have to give to your fellow man. Even if you're tired, even if you're the one that needs a shower first, even if you need a cup of soup, but they need a cup of soup, you take care of them, you serve them first. That's having the heart, the servant's heart that God is asking for. I believe that we're supposed to be servants unto each other. That way we never need. It doesn't mean anything ugly to be a servant. It's an honor. Somehow we have turned that into a dirty word. But if I come to you and I see that your shoulders are hurt and I say, sit down, let me put some medicine on you. Let me help you with that. And then I help you. And I said, let me vacuum your rugs today in your house. Or let me wash your dishes for you. Let me put some clothes in the washing machine for you. And then that person is so blessed by the things that you're doing. And they're seeing the love of God pour out of you. Then when you're down, that is returned to you. It's called taking care of each other. In the old days, and I was telling the girl that I work with, in the old days, my grandmother was a different breed of people. I have one grandmother that was born in the 1920s, and the other one was born in the late 1930s. My father is one of my grandmother's youngest children, and my mother is my grandmother's oldest child. So there's a difference in the generations there. Now, my grandmother that was born in the 30s was very giving too. She would give you the shirt off her back. But there was something about my grandmother that was born in 1926. They would set up with people who were in mourning. They would bake and cook food and go and set up with them, because people would set up with their deceased loved ones and sit with them for 3 days. It was a traditional thing. I don't really understand the whole thing of it. Maybe some of you might. But my grandmother, I can remember my grandmother laying 60-something years old on a hard floor in a hospital with one of my aunts. They didn't leave each other. They took care of each other. They stayed with each other. Now, you'll go into a hospital and say, oh, well, I'm praying for you. Hope you have a wonderful day. Or somebody passes away, if you can make a little bit of time, you'll go sign a book so that they'll know you were there. You'll say, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm praying for you. There's not a devotion of love for one another anymore. We used to, when somebody was down, we would go and pick them up and dust them off and say, it's going to be okay. We're going to get through this. I'm going to help you. Now we're just like, did you hear such and such? She was really down this morning. She could have used somebody. But I had to get to work. Or I had to do this. I'm guilty. The Lord's been dealing with my heart. And that's why the world is becoming waxed hard in their heart, because there's no love, no warmth, and no compassion for one another. We've got work to do. We got to get it in the steps. Love thy God with everything. And when you have everything that's right with God, then you'll be able to pour it out on mankind. You'll be able to pour it out on that mean old lady at the gas station. I don't have a mean old lady at the gas station here in Corning. I want to rectify that. But I'm just saying, whoever you walk by and they are rude, you'll be able to still pour love on them. They can't run from it. They can't get away from it. And nothing counteracts ugliness more than love. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this encouragement today, because I love you. Trying to help make the world a little bit of a better place with this encouragement. I pray that you got something out of it. I'm praying for you. I love you with all of my heart. I hope you have a wonderful, blessed day. Until next time, I'm Grammie Nae Nae. God bless you.